Okay, welcome back guys to now part 3 and our final part of our no-hit guide to Dark Souls 2 any percent with the Homeward Spell. We are up to the crypt now and our Velstadt split, so let's have a look. We just went through making sure that we light the first crypt bonfire. Let's slow this down a little as well. Wait, hang on, let's slow this right down a little bit more. Let's go back. That's a little bit too fast. I want to explain a couple of things here, but we are kind of speeding through that. Okay. So light our first crypt bonfire, as I said, due to Forlorns, in case we need a Homeward Spell back here. Now we're going to creep along the left-hand wall here just until we can peep and see this knight to our right. And we're going to shoot at the top to get him to turn around so that we can get about 3 to 4 magic arrows in his back and get him to die insta instead of like really little damage with his shield up. We're then going to kill the little hollow with the torch. Then we're going to get side on here and do some magic arrows to this guy in the head. Now, magic arrows I find have worked best through this whole area, so use all those in your second slot here. You see he goes down pretty quick here. Beautiful. Then we're going to hide behind this little, whatever the hell it is. And we're going to shoot these ladies, these casters from a distance so that they're not aggroed. Again, watch your stamina. Like in Shulva, we don't want to run out of stamina to the point where we can't roll away if the orbs do cast and comes towards us. It's never happened to me, but also be wary. I've heard that the orbs can go through walls here, so just be very wary. Now we're going to go just a little bit further here to trigger this hollow and kill him, and that's due to Forlorn trigger point. Right here is a trigger point for Forlorn. As we can see, the bright bugger's not graying out, so we're fine. We have no Forlorn. We're going to kill this hollow here. And then we go up to see this NPC here. We're going to buy from him 120 dark arrows. And we're also going to pick up this little soul. It's not really worth much, but it's a running joke between Posy GG and myself about picking it up. So now I pick it up just to meme Posy. So we grab our arrows here, 120 dark arrows. Now the dark arrows are for the area with the dragon knights. Dark arrows work really well there, and also for Giant Lord. That's why we want those, guys. Let's speed this back up a little again. Now I'm going to change to Flynn's ring, pure and simply for the next enemy that I kill, and to our rapier. The stone ring to Flynn, just periodically. Speaking of Posy GG. Chatting. I switched to the bone again because we are going to use it really shortly. So get your bones ready. And in we go. So we're going to break the rocks beside us. Light the bonfire and bone back. Now, the reason why I'm boning back to this bonfire is to reset the enemies. Break the rocks here. Be very careful of these bells. Pick up the Titanite chunk. Go up the ladder. And this is what our Flynn's ring for. Run in, lock on, and finish her off real quick so she doesn't cast a whole heap of shit. Then I switch back to my stone ring because the rest will be using our bow. Aggro this lady. Now this is another Forlorn point coming up, guys. That's why we kind of kill these ladies, so they're definitely not in our way. We also pick up the soul there because it's 10k. We kill the lady on the left. Now, what I'm going to talk about here real slightly. So, if you're not using Homeward Spell, which we are, so it doesn't matter, right, really, but this Crypt Forlorn that can spawn here is really quick, and he spawns about here. Now, the sort of strat for that is to shoot an arrow at the top so that this guy moves to his left and leaves enough space for you to run super fast through there, between them, down the pit, and then to the boss, basically. It's super scary, so this is why Homeward Spell, right? So thankfully we don't have to worry about that, but just so that you are aware of that. So next we're going to, I slowly just take out these two guys from a distance, safe and slow. Let's speed this back up because this is takes a little while. And if they do get too close to you, just back off into the other room. And of course, at least those two ghosts are killed, so you don't have to worry about them getting you in the back or anything. So you've sort of got that safety net behind you if these guys get really close to you. But I prefer to just kill them off and I don't even have to worry about them. Next, we're going to aggro the ghosts in the wall on the right and then kill them off. Make sure our lock-on is off and run the right side down to the pit. We pick up this soul, it's worth 10k, and we open up our shortcut in case any mishaps happen, and we've got the bonfire nice and close. Now next what we're going to do is switch to the rapier, and we are going to kill the first hollow that spawns here. Be very careful of the bell. Kill the second hollow on the left, and then the third hollow that spawns on the left. Now we do this so that it doesn't bring up all the magic casters and all the bullshit that's through this section. We just want those hollows dead. This place is nice and safe. I also prefer to kill the two knights, but I don't kill the dragon rider. So I go about halfway, I shoot the left, and then I'll start shooting the right while his shield is down and try to get some damage on him. We're going to speed through this bit because I slowly take them both out from a distance. If you stand by this lever, they won't aggro up to you. It's kind of like their cutoff point. Am I on 2 times? We are. Okay, so we're going to slowly sort of just whittle these guys down. If you can get them in the back, even better, because then you can kind of just finish them off. Now, if one does de-aggro and go back up there, be careful not to aggro the dragon rider. If you do aggro the dragon rider, try to kill him, because then he's probably going to block the fog gate or maybe hit you on the way in. That is what I would suggest. But because of the strat where you can just run to the dragon rider and strafe straight behind him and you don't get hit, that's what I go for and just leave him there. I don't bother killing him. So again, we're just going to take out this second knight. I've got the worst archery skills in the world, as you can see. This is a super tedious section, but I'd rather them be dead. They'd be scared running to Velstadt. Velstadt's scary enough. We're waiting. Is he going to come up? Okay, now I change back to my Flynn's ring, of course, because we're going into Velstadt. We have our pine resins ready and our bright bug. Now, if you go to the third last lot of pillars, dragon rider won't aggro, resin, bright bug, strafe him, and in we go to the fight. Let's slow this down, guys. Okay. Now, I am a big coward when it comes to Velstadt, right? His hitbox is pretty big. He scares the crap out of me, and it's really towards the end of the run. So I play him super safe. There's only 2 attacks I really like to go in on, and luckily I got really good RNG with this run. And I do prefer that he breaks pretty much all the pillars in the arena before I start hitting him too, because that means I'm safe to be rolling away without getting roll caught on a pillar. So I'm just sort of trying to bait him in a moment to do some attacks and break some pillars. So this wide swing, I don't like it. It scares the crap out of me, okay? It has follow-ups. It's a big hitbox. It scares the crap. Oh, man. I can't reiterate enough how scary this boss is to me personally. He has a 3 attack. He can follow another thrust up here as well. So I'm just waiting. Now he's going to do an overhead slam. Now this attack is pretty safe. You can go in for 1 hit, but then roll out because he's going to do a follow-up like back swipe. Do I go for it here? Nope. I'm taking it easy. I'm taking it real cautious. But we also try to keep in mind that we want our bright bug and resin to still be going, right? So it's a bit of a, you know, risk versus the other. So again, he's done a swipe, which I don't like, so I'm waiting. Okay, the overhead slam. I believe, go in for a hit here. Nope. Okay, I must not still be liking the too many pillars around me. I'm just waiting again. Another swipe, which Brutal's afraid of, so we're just going to wait. Another pillar's down. So we're getting a pretty clear arena now for the fight. And now I believe he's going to do a thrust. Now this is my favorite attack. We do a dodge left and we can get 2 free hits on him. So this will be where I go in for an attack. I whiffed one, but we got one in there. Now I'm just going to be careful because he might do something quick at me, so we'll just wait. He's going to do an overhead slam. Now this is where I'm going to go in for a hit, because now I'm going to start thinking, okay, I've got to watch my resin and my bug's going to run out. Now I get really great RNG. He's going to do another thrust for me, which is perfect. So we're going to roll left and take another 2 hits at him. And another thrust. So Brutal's just like full mast right now and excited. Can I get another 2 in here? I whiff. We get 1 more in. And then now we get another. Yeah, this is beautiful RNG, in my opinion. These are the attacks I really, really like. We're going to go in again. And now he's going to do an overhead slam. Now that's a really good attack to roll right as well, and behind him and get a free hit in or 2. But because I've always played him to roll back, I can't change my muscle memory for it. Now when he crouches down, what we want to do is we want to wail on him as hard as we can until our stamina is almost depleted. Then what we do is then we wait until our stem gets almost fully back to where it was. And then we wail again so we can keep getting those multiple hits in, right? And this should finish him off. Beautiful. Then what we do is we quickly switch from our RTSR ring to our serpent ring to again get more souls. And here you need to be extremely careful because the dragon rider can follow into this arena. Now he can run all the way up to King Vendrick. I took a hit, a really, really stupid hit. The run just before this run. First time I've been hit by it. I stupidly, because I know the dragon rider is going to run after me, ran to the wrong fog gate. I ran straight into Dragon Rider and he hit me. And I was so pissed off. That's why I ended up doing just 1 more run and that's when I got my run. And so after that, we quickly analyzed, you know, how do I know which is the right fog gate? And we worked out, as you can see on the screen right now, there are 3 pillars on each side. The Dragon Rider side only has 1 pillar on each side. So when you quickly change the Souls Ring, look for 3 pillars and run to the 3 pillars on each side. Okay, guys, that's only something I just learned on that day. So now that we know that, we're running straight for the 3 pillars because that Dragon Rider is going to be right on our ass. We pick up the King's Ring, and then we're going to be on our way to the Guardian Dragon fight. See how close he is there? You can just see him in the background. Now, before we do go to Dragon, what we do is we burn one of those ascetics here. And we pick up another free chunk, guys. So we just break the rocks here and these rocks, grab the chunk and just homeward our way back so that there's no hollows, ringing bells or whatever, and no danger. Then we're going to head back to Majula. Once we get back to Majula, what we're going to do is we're going to buy 3 bright bugs from Valencia. Get our final 3. And then once we get our bright bugs, what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade our rapier to our maximum of +10, and we are going to upgrade our bow to a +8, and those will be our last weapon upgrades. Then what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade our dexterity to 47 and our endurance to 35. So of course, first I've got to pop all of these souls we have because we've killed all of these bosses and haven't been back to Majula since after the Rotten. There we go, we're going to have 3 bright bugs. +10, +8. And then we'll do our upgrades with Emerald. 47, 35. Beautiful. So now we head back to Shaded Woods and we make our way through to open the door with the King's Ring. Again, I kill this guy just because I'm a coward and I'm scared. The run hasn't got far to go, so... Now, I will say Dragon is probably one of the most RNG heavy, scary bosses of the whole run. It can be quite the run killer, Guardian Dragon, if you get really bad RNG. The fight can either go over super quick, or it takes forever, the way he flies off all the time, etc. Now, I use a speed strat for Guardian Dragon that I was taught by Galasrini, who many of you may know, who is a really awesome DS2 speedrunner. She showed me how they do the Guardian Dragon. When I was having trouble with him, trying to find something that was even slightly consistent with him, that's who I turned to, and I started practicing that strat and doing that strat, and it has become a lot easier for me to deal with the Guardian Dragon. Now through here, what you want to do is run as fast as you can and open those doors because you're going to get the NPC invader, and we're going to run all the way to the little dragon lever to despawn the NPC invader. Okay, that's super easy. We're going to change our rings over to RTSR, back to, we have the Flins, the Chloranthy, and the Ring of Blades. Now we do a small little drop off here. A lot of the time you'll get RTSR straight away, but just be careful with these stairs. Never trust DS2 gravity, and just make sure you get that RTSR without dying. We're going to equip our resins ready to go with our bright bug. We've got our rapier ready to go. And then when we get to the fight, we're going to slow this down and I'll explain my strats with the fight. So here what we do is we sort of aggro the first hippo at the door so that he breaks it, and we move to the right hand side so he doesn't hit us. We do the same with the second one. And here we go, we'll slow down the dragon fight, guys. So you stick to the right hand side of the fog gate. We resin and we bright bug. Now 2 rolls will get you to the bloodstain, or a run. Now I do a bit of a run walk for the stamina, to keep the stamina. But I believe 2 rolls gets you to the blood patch that we're aiming for. Now this is a specific positioning that speed runners do to try and get the most consistent quick RNG with the dragon. So let's see, guys. I'm gonna enter the mist and I'll try and show you as best I can the patch that I aim for. So you'll see that I run but kind of slightly walk as well. It's kind of hard to see, but it's kind of like the very first really big blood spot in line with his wing on the ground. We want to aim for that, okay? Stand there. When he starts to lower his head, we go for 1, 2, 3 hits. Perfect. Then what he should do is go for a right chomp. So we go to the inside leg. Perfect. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 on his foot. Then he should, right? He should go for a stomp with that leg, which we want to roll out to the left and back as hard as we can, because it has a very big hitbox, all right? Then once he has done the stomp, we go in for a 2-hit on the leg and he's done. Now that's the speed strat. If you get it consistent and every time, amazing. But he can do a lot of other attacks. Let's talk about them for a second. He can do a very long fire breath in front of him, which you need to run as far away as possible to the other end of the cage. He can fly off and actually hit you and kill you with his feet. He can do a fireball. Now, if you try to roll the fireball, you are pretty much likely to get hit by it, okay? What you're best to do is, when he jumps up onto the side of the cage, listen for an audio cue. He'll either do the long breath. Now, if you don't hear that long fire breath, he's most likely going to do the fireball. So start running straight towards the cage in case it's going to be fire. And if you, for a few seconds, don't hear the fire breath, you'll hear him shoot the fireball and start running right angle to where you are straight away, and you will miss the fireball. Okay, so that's the strat that I learned for that. The chomps, I find it's better to be on the inside of his legs because his mouth might catch you on the outside. I'm just trying to think what other attacks that he has. I've probably missed some. We don't see a lot of that RNG due to the speed strat that I use, but I do think he does fly off in this fight, so let's just have a quick look. Yep, he's going to fly off. So here, really run away fast because he can hit you with his legs. And the other thing he can do is land on top of you. I shit you not. See how I've kind of run left then? Because he hovered a little bit then. And I thought, oh, please, God, don't land on me. Okay? Because he has and killed me. So here he's got next to no health left. He's breathing fire. I think I grab out my bow and quickly shoot a few arrows, maybe. Do I? No, I'm going to wait. Look how lovely pixelated this is. My God. I'm going to wait and I'm going to just take it nice and safe. So hopefully now he breathes fire and we can run to the right. Nope, he's going to fly off again. Ah, what a bastard. See, this is where you get some shitty RNG and you're like, oh no. And now I've done a baby jump that I don't mean to, or like a roll. Perfect. You don't want that to happen in a run. So now I'm panic rolling. He's done the long fire breath. Okay. He's having a bit of a stomp around. We're going to see what he's going to do. Oh, he's flying off again. Oh, man. See, this is where the fight can just turn into absolute bullshit if he keeps flying around on you. Oh, my gosh, it's so frustrating. But I have to say, guys, like, don't rely on speed strats. Learn his moves, learn his fights. Because if it goes on for a lot longer than you expect, you need to be able to cope with all of his RNG. Okay, here I'm going to swap out the bow. I'm kind of sick of his shit, so we're going to try and kill him off the last few with the bow. There we go. Did we get him? We got him. Lovely. Okay. And again, we just swapped that RTSR ring for our souls ring, get some extra souls again. So I'm just checking my rings that I've got everything ready for the next section. And we're going to go and take the longest lift in the world. So we're definitely going to 2-speed this bit. So for this next bit, I think I do normally change to Stone Ring, Chloranthy Ring, Ring of Blades, and Chloranthy Ring of RTSR. Now here we will talk to Emerald and get the Aged Feather, because that gives us free bones for the rest of the run. Just equip that straight away so we remember. Yep, we changed to stone. Perfect. Because we're doing bow all the way through this next section. We also switched to our dark arrows now, ready for all of the knights through this area. So we just take our zip line, get across the bridge. We do like the bonfire here, just so we can bone back to it after. Okay, now we just calmly take out each one of these knights with dark arrows. Be very wary of this particular guy here. You'll see I run around and hide behind the rocks. Now, this is because I have had him only do it once, but it was enough to have it happen one time, right? He can do an overhead attack and it shoots magic at you and it insta-kills you. So I'm very wary of that attack because it's only happened the once. I'm obviously very consistent with endgame and I really want my run at this point, so I'm playing it very, very safe. So we just, again, see, I'm running away. I just want my run, dude. We're just taking him out nice and slow. Next guy, same again, he has no shield, so it's even easier. We back off, lock on, and finish him off. Then we've got one last guy up here. Again, no shield, so he's quite easy to just take out. Just be wary, keep yourself in the stairwell. You can get close and try and hit you. Now here we swap to... Let's slow this back down again. So here we swap to poison in our first slot, dark arrows in our second slot, and a bright bug ready to go. Now this guy was my first one-hit PB. I got a hit from this guy. So what we want to do is bright bug, shoot off 4 quick poison arrows at him so he starts poisoning. He does a lot of rolling around. He's pretty good AI. So get those 4 poison shots off and then get back into this stairwell. Now you can play around with strats. You can fight him on the stairs. You can do this and that. But honestly, this is what I found to be the most consistent with this guy. Keep him sort of in the stairwell. Then we want to run out to the side because his poison's going to stop and get another 3 poison on him. Now with this guy too, depending on your distance, if you're a certain distance, he doesn't roll as much. But you've also got to watch you're a bit of a distance away from him because his weapons have quite a range and can hit you So just keep that sort of steady medium range with him. He'll be still poisoning because we've shot off another, sorry, it's 3 poison arrows for this guy because I've got Bright Bug. Otherwise it's 4. So as long as we have 6, we can get that 2 lots of poison onto him and do the rest with dark arrows at a nice safe distance. And then we're just going to run all the way and get the Ashen Mist Heart. So we're just going to 2 times speed this bit. We run up through. There's also the Papa Finn strat. Check that out on YouTube, guys. It's hilarious. So a lot of people use that, but Brutal can't jump. I can never land on there. It's too scary for me. I always advise, like, if you're going to follow a guide, follow the guide, right? Route your run. Do the run a few times, and the more you get used to your routing and your strats, if something doesn't work for you, go and check out some other strats. Trust me, like, it just might not be what feels comfy for you. You never know, another strat might work even better. So always check out all the different strats on YouTube and Twitch. Now we've come back to Majula and we've just upgraded our endurance to 39. I'm going to switch back to the Souls Ring, mostly because we're off to the Giant Lord and we don't really need any particular rings for him, to be honest. Chloranthian blades for the most part and RTSR. So like the 4th ring slot, it doesn't particularly need to be anything in particular. So I like to put the Souls Ring on because, you know, we might as well get some free souls, right? So now we just kill those 2 hollows to our left and right. We set up our RTSR. We're ready for Giant Lord. We have our Aged Feather equipped because if we have any funky RNG with the Giants, we want to bone out. It's not worth taking a hit this late game. We also have our Dark Arrows equipped for the Giant Lord himself. All right, we've got RTSR set up. We are ready to rumble. We just shoot this guy. I pick up this soul despite it's not really much because, you know, it's there. Now this is another Forlorn spawn, so keep an eye on your feather. If it grays out, Homeward Spell back. Okay, don't risk it at this end of the run. No way, Jose. So just keep an eye on that feather. Now I kill the knight, so he's just not in my way. It's not worth the risk. Put our King's Ring on and we open up the King's Door. Now we definitely like this bonfire because we want somewhere to bone back if the giants are not doing what we wish. We change our King's Ring back to our RTSR ring and then we're going to head into the giants, guys. Giant Lord, Lord of the Pants. I double check my rings because I'm always paranoid my rings are not right. And in we go. Now I'm just going to slow this section down a tad just to explain what I do here. Now this is another section that you can find a little frustrating to get consistent with the giants that are in here and all of the enemies. And I'm going to explain what I found most consistent for me. So when I go into the fight, into the memory, I stay at the fog gate. And I watch what the giant closest to me is doing. So this giant here, I'm keeping an eye on. Now what I want him to do is turn around. So then I can aggro the head to come down, all right? So, and normally it's after like 1 or 2 fire bursts coming in front of me. So what I'm doing is I'm just watching this giant here, right? You want to take your time. You don't want to risk this. We're so close to Throne Duo, right? He's turned. I'm going for my opportunity. Now, I find what triggers the head best is running just past the stairwell. Just past it. See how I just go past it? And then I loop myself into the stairs and make my way up to the corner, of course, so I don't get hit by fire. Now, as soon as I get here, I normally get my feather ready. I will literally put my feather on because I freak out. See, I've put it on, right? And I'm gonna really take notice of what's happening with the giants. I listen for the head roll, and I'd watch the soul count to see if both giants die. I'm pretty sure I got a good one. Yeah, there we go. So I see both health bars go. Perfect RNG for this run. If one giant starts hooking it towards you, they are fast. Do not underestimate how quick these giants are. That's why I have the feather ready, and I just bone out. It's not worth it. And honestly, if you bone out and try again, all it is free souls, right? Take your time. Don't risk it. We're so close to the end of the run, okay? All right, so now we're going to head to the Giant Lord. So let's speed this back to normal speed. Now I'm just waiting for the fire so I don't get burnt, obviously. We're going to take our run to the Giant Lord. Once we get to where this giant laying down is, we wait for our fire again, and then we go for it. Now I have found when he starts to raise his sword, stop running. Get ready to roll. Don't run your stamina out. That first overhead slam is like the scariest thing ever. And you want to make sure you're lined up with the stairs and you roll into the stairwell. You don't run, you know, against it and get blocked or anything. Now this fight is super, super easy. We're just doing it from range, nice and calmly. We've got a little fire crackling ASMR in the background. Just take it really nice and slow. We're going to dodge his overhead attacks, and then we're also going to roll under his swipe attack. I normally shoot 2 arrows in between each attack, but do keep an eye on your stamina bar as well. If it gets a little low, maybe just take 1 arrow just for that next attack. Just keep your eye on it. There's no rush. This fight is so easy. It's 100% in the bag. We're so close to Throne Duo, it's not worth being greedy about anything here. So we just slowly whittle him down. If you don't, you know, if you get past the first 2 giants that die, this run is this fight is pretty much in the bag. So that's why we take our care at the start of the arena, because it's just not worth it. This boss is so easy. And there he goes down. We're going to Gwyn! And this is where your nerves really kick in and you start to have panic attacks and crying and oh my god. If you're brutal, that is. Alright, we're out of here. We're back to Majula! Now we do a few little things here. We'll of course pop the souls for some levels. I'm going slow because I'm triple checking my notes. So what we level up here is normally 50 dex and then about 42, 43 endurance. Let's see what we get. 50, 43. So 50 dexterity, 43 endurance for our final fights. And then we are going to start getting our equipment ready for the final fights. So what we do is we take off our chime, all of our armor, all of our consumables except for bright bugs, and we change our dark arrows to lightning arrows. Our rings are going to be Chloranthy, Blade, RTSR, and Flynn. Okay, so you can see quite clearly on the screen everything you want to have on for your final fight. Rapier, bow, Chloranthy and blades, RTSR and Flynn's, bright bugs, you should have 2 left, and your lightning arrows, guys. I am taking my time. I am double, triple, quadruple checking. I have everything that I need for Throne Duo and for Nashandra. We can probably actually speed this section up as well. No, not quality. Stop pressing on that, man. All right, 2 times. Brutal notice following. So that's me turning off my alerts and testing them, turning off all my sound effects, because we're going to Gwyn. And I don't want to be distracted by, you know, alerts and stuff on my stream. So, all right. So now what we want to do, of course, is set up our RTSR ready for the final fights. Remember to kill this guy. He's going to spawn if you don't have King's Ring on at this moment. I keep RTSR on so I can make sure I grab RTSR from the ladder. Now you can set up your RTSR next to the door as well by doing those little jumps off the side. That scares the crap out of me. I think I'm going to take a gravity death right before the final bosses. So I just take my time and use the ladder. It's like so safe. You can't die there. So that's the way I do mine. Okay, we're ready. We're going to change RTSR to King's Ring now because we don't want the knight to our right to spawn and hit us in the back. And of course, we also want to open the door. Then we pop our RTSR ring on straight away because there's been times I've run all the way to the fog gate and nearly forgotten to put it back on. Now, my Throne Duo fight was probably the worst I've ever had ever. Okay, this is going to be hard to guide you on how to do Throne Duo when I had the worst RNG and worst things happening ever in this run, basically. I will explain how I do fight them and how the run normally goes. All right, if you want to look at my past VODs or whatever on Twitch, you will see how they normally go down. What I do is as soon as I enter the fog gate, I do 3 lightning arrows to Throne Watcher. And then I space myself because of the stamina and we start dodging and rolling the attacks of both of them. What I do is I whittle down Watcher to 0 health and leave Defender at full health. The way my strat that works for me comfortably is then I melee the Defender and I keep him away from the Watcher, aggroed towards me somewhere else in the arena, and just melee him right till about, you know, 60% health gone. So he only has, you know, about a quarter of his health left or whatever. And then let him go revive her and I finish him off, right? Well, this run, the run went so haywire. Now, there's a few reasons why I think that happened. Nerves, so I wasn't as aggressive as usual. There were times where I would normally do hits and I didn't because I was just nervous, panic, man. My hands are barely working. I think this could be the run again. I've had 7 one-hit PBs. I'm freaking out, dudes. You will not believe what the adrenaline does to your body. The second thing I believe why it happened is my bright bug did run out. So this fight goes super, super haywire. And I think it's going to be memed about for a long time because I had 2 resis happen to me in this fight. I normally have 0 happen. So I also panicked, not because like Watcher resied, because she's quite easy on her own, you know. I just did bow with her because I've never meleeed her and I just took it nice and chill and tried to just whittle her back down again. But I got really scared when they resied a second time, because then I had Defender in his more like aggro stage with his resined weapon. And because I've never had that happen before, I didn't know if he was going to do different RNG. I was freaking out, but I also had to be aggressive because I didn't want them to resi a third time. So this is quite an interesting fight to watch. It's not meant to go this way at all. There's a lot of different strats out there for Throne Duo and Defender. Some, they make sure Defender has some health whittled down before they take out Watcher. Some use poison arrows on Watcher. Some only bow both of them. They won't use melee on either. So again, try something for yourself. If it's not comfy, try a different strat. That's all I can advise. But practice. Because one of my one-hit PBs was Gravity Death to the arena. You might have seen it on Twitter. It kind of went a little bit viralish. Me bursting into tears because I actually fell off the edge to gravity. I was devastated. I was so devastated. I used to fight Throne Duo and Defender in a anti-clockwise pattern. After the gravity hit, I really tried to analyze how can I stop that happening again by markers on the floor, etc. You know, I watch a lot of no-hit runners, and I decided from watching some other runs and stuff that going clockwise actually gives you a little bit more spatial awareness, and it helps with the markers on the floor a little bit more. So only this past week, maybe two, I switched to anti-clockwise as well, which was, you know, a little bit on my muscle memory, trying to relearn a different direction. But I do think in the end, if you learn it anti-clockwise, it will be better to prevent a gravity death in the arena, myself personally. All right, so let's watch this fight semi-slow, and then we'll go through it quickly, guys. All right, so let's have a look. We're on a fair, let's go at half speed. I think I'm chatting to chat for a bit here and hiding them so they don't distract me. Where's the chat box? Otherwise you're tempted to look at it during a boss fight. So I'm rolling my eyes saying, oh God, please let this be the one this time. All right, so we Brightbug. We're going to enter the arena. And as I said, we're going to aim for Watcher first. So what we do is as soon as we enter, we lock on. It will lock on to the Defender first, but we switch to Watcher. So you'll see I lock on, I switch. We do 1, 2, 3. Especially while she has her shield down. And now we're going to watch our stem, and we're going to try and avoid all of these attacks they do. You really want to keep your space pretty well with them. Don't be greedy. They're super fast. Yeah, it can be a real scary fight, especially if they get in sync and they're real close to you. Trying to get those hits on the Watcher while her shield is down. 1 hit or 2 hit. Honestly, I would pretty much never recommend 3 in this fight. You need that stamina and that distance to keep away from them. Watcher, especially like this, can do these super quick swipes at you or thrusts. She's a lot more scarier whilst there's 2 of them, I believe, I think, than Defender. The Defender is the one with the massive shield. So I'm playing it really safe here. I really want this damn run. We're not being greedy at all. We're making sure we have plenty of space between us and the bosses. Even if she has her shield up, if there's space and time to hit her, just do it. It's still damage. Like, I don't give a shit if her shield's up. Some people won't hit her unless the shield's down. I think, like, that's a waste of opportunity to whittle some health off her. So I just still do it. See these quick swipes? They're scary, man. You just gotta roll, roll, roll. And the best time to hit Watcher is when she does her 2 backflips. She has lots of nice space there. Defender's sort of slow. He can kind of have a quick thrust, but he's not too bad to keep an eye on. It's her. Well, they're both bro. Aren't they thrown bros? I always call her a her. Imagine assuming genders in 2020. It's disgusting of me, and I do apologize for that. Okay, she's buffing up. Now she can throw like a is it a lightning attack at you, or magic attack at you as well from a distance, so just be wary of that as well. See how she's doing the backflips? They're nice, easy hits there. A lot of nice space and a bit of time. That attack is so scary. Now, see how there's broken bits on the floor? At the same time, I'm really watching the broken bits on the floor and trying to circle my way around that, because that means I'm not close to the edge as well. I'm actually more scared of gravity than thrown duo at this point. So now she's down, and I'm going to try and melee defender. Nice and close to me, keep him aggroed to me. Now this attack, I normally dodge left, right, right. But due to being nerves, I rolled back. Again, I'd probably watch some older VODs of me fighting him when I'm not so nervous. Because I really am quite aggressive with him usually. But I'm just like, I so want the run. I'm playing it super, super safe. So see how I'm trying to keep him away from Watcher as much as I can, but he keeps kind of luring back to her. And I haven't gotten much off him yet at all. Again, I haven't done my usual rolls. That's nerves. I've rolled back twice. Now this overhead is nice and slow, but I have seen twice he has a quick follow-up to that. So again, I'm being super, super cautious. Now I know he doesn't have enough health down. I'm probably not going to get this. I'm freaking out. I'm so close. Look, he has like one. Look at that slither. One slither. Nope, it's not enough. They resi. I'm freaking out, man. But I'm trying to keep my cool because I really want this run. So I'm like, all right, we got to do Watcher again. But we know, like, we're doing her with bow. Defender's not in the picture. We're just 1v1. Let's try and stay calm. Let's just whittle her down. We've got to do it. What else can we do? So here now we're just trying to get her down again. My bright bugs run out. Chat's going insane. Now she's going to go res. Now here I'm panicked, right? I haven't weapon swapped quick enough. I weapon swapped twice because I'm freaking out, and I one-hand it. What the fuck? So guess what? They resi again, man. What the fuck is happening? I'm stalling for content. It's entertainment value. That is so not true. I'm shitting my pants. I just want this fight to be done with. It's gone so wrong in so many ways that it never has before. I'm freaking out because he's just resined. Is he going to do different attacks that I don't know? I've never fought this before. I don't know what's happening. I'm freaking out. So, yeah. Now I'm a little more aggressive because I just need this fight to be over. I'm whiffing some shots. I'm trying to be safe but aggressive at the same time. Trying to balance the two in my head. while the adrenaline is rushing through me. I'm thinking just a couple more and we're good before he reses, so I'm hoping this is the one. Now I'm being real cautious here because he can do a quick 2-stab. If you're not sticking to his left, he will stab you. Now I'm hoping to God this is it. And we get him, finally. Oh my gosh. Talk about content, mate. Talk about content. It was insane. It was insane. Now what we do is we bright bug straight away, ready for Nashandra. Now everyone again does Nashandra a little bit differently. I will quickly pause and talk about this fight just for a moment. So with Nashandra, I try to keep her in a triangular pattern. So she will spawn in front of me and I will basically move to the left side of the arena and fight her from there, right? To stay away from the curse balls. Then when she moves towards me, that gives me the whole right side of the arena to run to, especially if she does reorb or an AoE. So then I can fight her from that side of the arena, away from orbs. And then if I need to, I can triangulate back to her starting position and fight her from there. Now, on the run that wasn't 2 days before this run, I had a very unfortunate RNG where when she went to reorb and I ran away to my third position, she still had orbs up and had double lots of orbs. So I unfortunately took HP drain, 2 tiny sliver ticks, and we thought I got the run and I didn't. If you saw the start of my run, that is on YouTube. So let's now take a look at this fight in a little bit more detail and go through it. Now at the start, I freak people out because I like to run into her. People freak out at this. Now the reason, I have a reason, there's a method to my madness. I like to run into her and then run out so that her orbs stay fairly closely knit to her. You'll see I do a roll by accident. That totally never happens, which freaks me out even more, but we're fine. We don't take any HP or curse or anything, and I've gone to my position that I like to be in. So we just bow her from range, and then when she comes in for melee, she has the overhead attack. You can get 2 free hits in. 2 attack. Now with the swipe, she can do 1, 2, or 3. And they're fairly delayed. The third is like even more delayed than the first 2. It does take a bit of practice to get to know her timing. When she does that big glow to her chest, she's going to AoE and we need to run away. And now I'm in position 2 where I want to be. We're still nicely away from the orbs. We can get some bow damage in. And if she comes close to me, we're ready for melee again. She does the overhead. 1, 2. Get a couple more attacks in. An overhead. Now when I dodge her attacks, I roll into her. There's that delayed 3. And we finish her off. Beautiful. And that's it. And that's where I don't believe I've got the run until I watch the footage. I'm in disbelief. My soul has been crushed from 2 days before. I don't want to believe it's the run, but it is actually the run. All right, guys, let's go back slowly and have another little quick look at the run in normal speed. About here-ish? No, that's where they're resi. All right, here we go. And then this way you'll kind of see like how fast the attacks can be and normal speed as well. Instead of slowing it down, you can sort of see how fast they can be near you. And because there's two of them, there's sometimes a lot of rolling needs to be done, a lot of dodging. So that's why we want that stamina quite high, and the Chloranthy ring helps as well. The Watcher also has a very fast like underslash attack that she comes right at you with. That was another attack that killed my run. I don't think I see her do it in this fight, but that's a very scary attack as well. It's very quick and she gets very close to you. So when she resins, of course, just watch that she doesn't throw a magic attack at you from a distance. You need the stamina to be able to roll that. We actually got pretty good RNG in this fight, to be honest. Like, she went down pretty quick. It's just a shame I played this so passively. Because normally I would have gotten a hit in there because I would have dodged both a different way. But I'm just so nervous. And I just want this run so bad that I'm playing it so safe. I can't believe how much, look at that health. It was so small. The panic of those weapon changes, my goodness. If I was two-handed, I wonder if they would have even resied the second time. But because I was one-handed, oh man. Hooray! All right, here we go. Bright bug for Nashi. Now, some people like to bone out here and go and level, but I don't bother. Oh god, that jump. Imagine if I had fallen off the edge there, my lord. I would have been so pissed off. It might not look like I'm rolling into her, but I am every time. It kind of pushes you to her sides, but I've found that has worked the most consistent and safest for me. Always make sure to you leave that little bit of space to change weapon and lock on, like, sorry, just change weapon as she comes towards you and roll. Don't keep bowing her hoping that, oh, she won't be too close soon, you know? Always leave that little bit of room to change your weapon, etc., and roll her attacks as well. All right, so that's it, guys. Done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you get a lot of fun out of doing this run. There's gonna be hard days, there's gonna be crying days, maybe there's gonna be rage days, but all in all, this was an amazing journey, and I don't regret one thing. It was such an immense achievement for myself. I'm so happy the run has been done. And I hope that you really enjoyed the guide and that it was easy to follow. If you have any questions, please just write it in the comments. You can whisper me on Twitter, or you can of course jump into Twitch chat and ask me a question anytime about the run if you wish. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day, night, whatever your time zone is. Thank you again, and goodbye.